All right, let's get right into it. If you're over 30, or hey, even if you're just knocking on that door, you really need to hear this. Look, this isn't some list of rules designed to make you feel bad. Not at all. Think of this as a wake up call, a really important one, because the game changes after 30, and the way you play it has to change too. And it has to start right now.
And that right there, that's the whole point. And let me be clear, this is not about being negative or some doomsday prediction. It's about being real about a huge shift that happens. The kind of buffer zone you had in your 20s, it's pretty much gone. The universe stops whispering hints in your ear. Now it just sends you the bill. Your choices suddenly have this incredible weight to them, creating ripples you're going to feel for a long, long time.
So, where do we even begin with all this? We start inside, right here in your head. Because every single thing in your outer world, your career, your health, your relationships, it's all a direct reflection of what's going on internally. You want to change your actions? First, you got to change your thinking.
This is maybe the single most dangerous lie we tell ourselves. In your 20s, saying, I'll do it later, feels totally safe. But after 30, later becomes a trap. It just does. The energy you have, the responsibilities piling up, what a mistake costs you, everything changes. Waiting for the perfect moment isn't a strategy anymore. It's actually just a form of self-sabotage.
See, time doesn't just disappear in a puff of smoke. It's more like it erodes, slowly but surely. Your 20s? Yeah, those are the whispers, the little nudges, right? Like, hey, maybe you should work on that. But your 30s? Whoa. Those whispers turn into full-blown consequences you just can't ignore. And if you still put it off, well, your 40s, that's when you start paying the debt for all that waiting around. And trust me, the interest on that debt, it compounds daily. It's brutal. Man, just let that one sink in for a second. If you're constantly trying to impress people, if you're saying yes when your gut is screaming no, if you're building your life based on what other people might think, that isn't a life. It's a performance, and it is absolutely exhausting. The real truth, most people are so wrapped up in their own stuff, they're not sitting around judging you anyway. It's time to ditch that prison of approval and just be you.
If there was ever a time to put on the blinders and focus on your own lane, this is it. After 30, everyone's path just explodes in different directions. I mean, some people are getting married, others are getting divorced, some are launching companies, others are hitting the reset button on their entire life. If you're constantly looking sideways at what they're doing, you're going to trip and fall on your own path.
And that's because you're comparing your own behind-the-scenes chaos to someone else's perfectly edited highlight reel. You just don't see their private struggles, their debt, their fears. The only comparison that matters is you today versus you yesterday. Are you making progress? That's it. That's the only metric that counts. And this leads us to the final piece of this inner work, and it's a big one. Without some kind of purpose, just drifting through life becomes so dangerous. The years start to fly by after 30, and if you don't have a direction, you could wake up in 10 years in the exact same spot, just wondering where the heck all that time went. Life shouldn't be something you just get through. Okay, so we've worked on the mindset, we've rewired the thinking, now what? Now we have to apply it to the real world. This next part is all about mastering your outer world, taking that clarity we just talked about and turning it into actual, tangible habits and actions. I'm just going to be straight with you here. In your 20s, your body is, well, it's amazing. It's so forgiving. You can get away with junk food, all-nighters, no exercise. But after 30, that forgiveness policy expires. Your body starts keeping a detailed record of every bad choice. And one day, it will come to collect that debt with interest. So the big takeaway here is this. Your health is no longer some optional side quest. It is the main mission. You start eating for the person you want to be in a decade. You move your body not just to look good, but for basic survival and function. And you have to treat sleep like the critical resource that it is, because it controls your energy, your mood, your mind, everything. You know, indecision is this silent killer of our potential. It just keeps us stuck. Stuck in that job you dread every Sunday night, stuck in that relationship that's draining the life out of you, stuck in that city you've totally outgrown. We tell ourselves we'll figure it out later, but avoiding a tough decision is a decision. It's the decision to stay exactly where you are. And really, this is the choice, right here. You get to choose your pain. You can take the pain of action. Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable for a bit, but it's temporary. Or you can take the pain of inaction, which is that slow, quiet, permanent dissatisfaction, the ache of regret. So which one is it going to be? The short-term sting of courage or the long-term ache of what is?
Let's just be real for a second. We all know what that fourth slice is, don't we? It's the endless scrolling on our phones. It's binge watching a series we don't even really like. It's just mindless distraction. Time is the one currency you can never, ever get back. So is the way you're spending it actually moving you forward, or is it just keeping you comfortable right where you are?
Look, money isn't everything. We all know that. But a lack of control over your money will control everything about your life. After 30, you just can't afford to be spending blindly or just saving whatever's left at the end of the month. You don't need to be rich, but you absolutely have to be responsible. Your future self is counting on it. All right, for our last section, let's talk about growth. This is about the people you chose to have in your life and the promise you make to yourself to keep evolving. Because who you are today is so heavily influenced by who you spend your time with. Seriously, take a moment and really think about this. Who in your life, when you walk away from a conversation with them, leaves you feeling energized, inspired, more like yourself, who actually challenges you to be a better person? And now, here comes the tough one. Who leaves you feeling just drained, exhausted, small, or negative? Who always seems to take more energy than they give? You have to be brutally honest with yourself here. So many of us stay in these draining friendships or relationships, and we call it loyalty. But loyalty isn't supposed to be a suicide pact. True loyalty goes both ways. After 30, your environment literally shapes your future, and sometimes protecting your peace means having the guts to create some distance. Not because you're angry, but because you respect yourself. Yeah, growing is uncomfortable. Learning new skills is hard. Admitting you were wrong is really humbling. But you know what's way, way harder? The pain of staying stuck. The world is going to keep moving on whether you decide to grow with it or not. The thing to be afraid of isn't change. The real fear should be looking in the mirror in 5 years and seeing the exact same person staring back. Okay, so after all of that, let's bring it all home. This isn't supposed to be a moment for panic or regret. It's a moment of power. This is the point where life stops being a dress rehearsal. The real show is starting. This is your call to action to start living your life by design, not by default. And this right here is the whole point. You're not too late. The door hasn't closed. But that feeling of having infinite time, that's gone. This is the decade where your habits really lock in, where your choices create lasting consequences, and where the foundation for the rest of your life gets poured. The time to be intentional is right now. This quote just nails the entire shift we've been talking about. Your 20s might have been about hustle and grind and just trying everything. Your 30s and beyond, they're about focus, precision, impact. It's about being ruthless with your priorities, doing what actually matters, and having the courage to let go of all the stuff that doesn't. So I'm going to leave you with this question. This wasn't just about sharing information. It's an invitation for you to make a decision. After hearing all of this, what is the one thing you are going to stop doing? Not tomorrow, not next week, starting right now. Your future is waiting for you to answer.